Hi, welcome to Passport and Purpose. My name is Rosina Marie, and thank you so much for being here with me today. I'm going to be straight with you. I have no desire to speak about this topic right now, but I care about you, and I believe that God can use our confusion, our messiness, our pain, our suffering, our questioning, and He can use that to inspire other people so that we can relate with one another. I mean, in a world where everything is so AI generated and fake, it's important to have these genuine conversations. I'm not here to be put on this pedestal. I'm here to simply have a conversation about what dating is like after being cheated on, dating after betrayal. Simple, but heavy. Um, don't ever want you to feel alone. And that is exactly why I created this podcast. So I'm here with you, and I'm just so grateful that you're listening. But I want to ask you a question. Have you ever had your heart broken in a way where you questioned so many things? You questioned, could you ever trust anyone again? Could you ever feel safe with anyone again? Are all men like your ex? Because if you have, I'm glad you're listening. Now, when someone lies to you, cheats on you, betrays you, it does something to you. It breaks your trust, your safety, and especially as women, it affects your identity. You start to think that you're not enough. You start to think that you're a problem. You start to think that you're the reason why he cheated. And let me just let's just go back here. Someone doesn't cheat because of the reason you, because of who you are. It's not a reflection of your character. It's not a reflection of your personality. It's not a reflection of your heart. Someone cheats because they lack integrity. They lacked any sort of moral foundation, and they lack accountability. Um, So if anyone ever tells you that they cheat because you weren't a good fit, cheating is not communication. Cheating is a choice. It's a decision that's being made out of someone who's selfish, immature, and truly lacks that emotional maturity and has an incredibly shaky moral grounding and foundation. You don't need a man like that. Let me just tell you, you're better off alone. But trust me when I tell you, I understand that it can do so much to you. It just messes with your mind and it breaks you a little bit. It does. Because as women, we want to be chosen by a man. And when we are in a relationship and we love somebody and we do all that we can to care and nurture, and then that individual basically makes you feel like you weren't enough and the love you were giving was nothing, you start to see yourself very differently. And I just want to encourage you, if you've ever been embarrassed for loving the way that you loved, or ever been embarrassed for showing the affection the way that you showed affection, I think one of the most beautiful and bravest endeavors of life is to love wholeheartedly, to be unapologetically yourself, to allow yourself to be the woman, to show the affection, the love, and the care to a man. It's on him if he cannot treasure, protect, and cherish that love. And I truly believe with my whole heart that as women, we have this love to give. And if you have this desire to love and to be loved by a man, God did not create you with a heart so big to not put that love into a relationship that you want and desire. And whether it's in friendships, of course, whether it's, within your community and family, there is something so fulfilling as a woman and beautiful where we can love a man and be chosen by a man to allow ourselves to become this soft, feminine individual that God created us and wired us to be for that man. But in the meantime, it's tough. I mean, you want to be the soft, gentle woman, hopeful woman, but you've been lied to. And there was a point in your life where you thought that truly the problem was you. That the reason why he cheated was because you didn't give enough and love hard enough and do enough, be enough, look a certain way. It shatters the way you view yourself. And because of that, I think a lot of women develop when they're dating a lot of trust issues, a lot of hypervigilance, this sense of fear of abandonment, where then a lot of codependency comes into play. And of course, a lot of trust issues, which I mentioned, where the emotional walls are just being built higher and higher and higher and higher and higher. There's nothing wrong with you. The reason why you're feeling all these things is because your heart is just trying to protect itself. It's in fight and flight mode. And when you start to get close to somebody and you see something and you feel those things, your brain has memory. And it just remembers what it was like when you first did that and how it felt after the fact when you found out all the things you found out, the day you found out that he was cheating on you, how you felt. And then the pain that brought months later, where you couldn't get out of bed, where life was so dark, where you really thought that you weren't going to find anyone again because you weren't good enough for somebody. No. Those are just lies created out of someone's selfish actions that are now your deepest, darkest fears. But there is hope. Now, some signs that I kind of want to talk about to kind of like, hey, maybe you're still healing while you're dating, which is totally fine. I don't think that it's wise to just completely stop dating to say, I'm going to be fully healed and date. You're never fully healed, mamacita. Okay. You've heard it before. Healing is a journey, not a destination. And I think in order to heal, you have to put yourself back out there, especially if you want to find someone and share your life with somebody one day. You can't just expect to wait till you're good. Because the thing is that you have to be able to put yourself out there to understand how you're going to react in this new environment, with this new man, with these new experiences, with these new people, in order to learn and grow and understand yourself more. If you don't do that, you're not going to learn. I mean, if you don't make mistakes, you don't learn either. And sometimes you got to make those mistakes too. So you got to give yourself some grace. But don't just isolate yourself and say, I'm going to wait for the right time, because that's when I want to show up and be like, push you into the deep end and be like, just go, because there's no right time. But I definitely think you should take your time. Now, some signs that you still perhaps are dealing with a lot of healing. And it's different for everybody, ladies, but these are just some signs from, talking to my friends and some things that I've experienced too, and that I've noticed. And one thing that I just want to make sure is that we notice these feelings and we refuse to allow them to control us. So some examples, I have them written down here. So feeling anxious when somebody pulls away, the codependency. If you want constant reassurance, and this is something that I think a lot of women who've been love bombed, that's not healthy, by the way. It's emotional manipulation. They love bomb you to get you. And then when they have you, they do what they do and they hurt you. Be very careful with men who love bomb you. It is not healthy at all whatsoever. But especially if you've been in a relationship where you were love bombed into it or even throughout it, you're going to meet a man who doesn't do that, who gives green flags, who takes things steady. No, he's not calling you all of these pet names all at once and just all these things. It's mature. It's it's attractive, but you start to kind of doubt yourself because you're used to what you were used to. Don't freak out. It's okay. It's good that he's not love bombing you. If he was love bombing you, again, you know that pattern. okay, it might make you feel good and everything, or it might just bring up some like red flags like, nope, this is exactly the kind of relationship that I was in, that I got into, and it's just not healthy. You can't tell someone things when you love bomb them, when you don't even know people. It's just reel you in. Really it is. Um, Over analyzing on social media, which is very common too for well, this is a tough one. I mean, because if you've experienced, your ex who was following these really inappropriate accounts or OnlyFans models and stuff on Instagram when you guys were together. I mean, just men following. It's such a saturated world, social media. That's just saturated with so much sex and women showing that. And yeah, you get paranoid. You absolutely get paranoid if you start to then think that every guy is going to start following all of these girls. I mean, please tell me you're not counting the amount of girls he's following and this and that. Mamacita, if you are, girl, listen, you don't know crazy until you met me. But I will say, you start to overanalyze a lot. It's okay. But you need to just stop. Social media, social media. I think personally, um, if you're in a relationship with a man and he is following inappropriate accounts and he hasn't unfollowed them already, I think it's disrespectful that he follows those sexualized accounts being with you. I mean, when men are single and they're, nothing serious, at this point, I mean, I follow Glenn Powell. Not that he's posting shirtless pictures of himself every day, but if there's a crush that I have, I'm following it. But again, like you can't take that to heart. You really have to look at those things like and take it with a grain of salt. I said I follow Glenn Powell. I have a crush on Glenn Powell. It's not a big deal, guys. It's not a big deal. I'm a big girl. He's famous and he doesn't know who I am, and I don't need him to know who I am because I want a man to know who I am. Not him. I don't care about him. He's just Glenn Powell. Um, but anyways, yeah. So social media is tough. You might need a little detox from it. But yes, I think once you're in a relationship, it's a different dynamic. I think a man should just wholeheartedly respect you and not follow his exes, his past hookups, naked accounts, women shaking their booty and their fake tits online. I think he'd know the kind of relationship he's getting into with the woman of the high quality and high standards that you are, that's not appropriate. So that's that. But something else that is very common for women who have been betrayed and they're dating again is pulling away when something gets serious, pulling away when you start to feel emotions, pulling away when you're like, oof, am I falling for him? It's very, very normal. Very, very normal. I think the best advice that I can give you for that is to communicate. I think it's very important and it's incredibly terrifying to communicate how you feel, but telling someone that you're talking to, you're exploring something with, like, listen, I have been heartbroken. It's been rough. I really like you. This is beautiful. I mean, I feel all these beautiful things. I feel safe with you enough to tell you that there are moments where I just get anxious and I just want to pull away because I'm just so afraid of being hurt again. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. The right man is going to see you for you and be like, well, I don't want to hurt her. And he's going to give you the space you need to allow yourself to process that. And I think it's very emotionally mature of you to also give yourself any space or time if something happens in your life and you're just trying to be there for him in a way where you just want to be the best version of yourself for him, not having to have him fix you. No, 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 no. No man's going to fix you. Only you're going to fix you. So another thing that we do is assuming the worst intentions about everyone. Mamacita, he's not your ex. Get that out of your head. This guy that you're seeing, this guy that you're dating, he's not your ex. He is him. Your ex was your ex, and we don't care about him anymore. Okay? but he's not going to treat you the same way. He's not going to do the same thing. This guy is not your ex. You're going to have to give this guy the benefit of the doubt. Observe him, see how much effort he puts into wanting to get to know you, see how consistent he is, see how much he cares for you, see how much he follows through, see how thoughtful he is for you. You just need to observe him right now to understand that this guy is not your ex. And you're going to try to convince yourself, oh, no, he's not. He's not. And let me tell you, the biggest mistake that we make as women after being hurt back into dating, personally, I think, is rushing into another relationship. And I get it. So after my breakup, it was rough. Who wants to be alone during that? No one does. You don't want to feel that pain and that suffering and that darkness and that heaviness all alone. No, of course, you want to go and be with someone else and distract yourself from it. But please don't do it. And if you made a mistake and like whether it's a one night stand or you met someone and you did this, I want you to give yourself so much grace because you're not a robot. You are someone who's been hurt, someone who's been betrayed, and just trying to do the best. Now, if you're telling me that you are running back to the same old hookup, if you're running back to the same old guy, the ex, the this, the that, or you really can't be alone, there's no shame in seeking therapy. I really think it's very unhealthy to jump into a relationship, to jump into some sort of exploration, talking stage with anybody if you're hurt. So, unfortunately, you have to go through it. I've been reminded very much so in my life right now that being refined through the fire, that's exactly what that healing stage does to you. And you need it. Absolutely need it. It sucks, but it's worth it in the end. Also, another thing that happens is becoming emotionally unavailable. Isolating yourself, self-sabotaging. You're just too afraid to give any guy a chance. And God forbid, you might push away the guy that you've been praying for all your life since you were a little girl, but you're just so afraid that you're like, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. Another thing is testing the person, testing the new individual, whether that's kind of just like, testing to see if they're like your ex, testing to see if they're going to make a mistake. And then when they make the mistake, it's like, that's why I need to walk away from this before I get hurt because you did that. But you're kind of like manipulating that out of them because you want to control yourself to not get hurt again. And that's not healthy. Another thing, we talked about this, comparing the new person to your ex. Forget about that guy. Forget about your ex. He's ill. No. This guy you're talking to, it's not your ex, mamacita. And then lastly, believing that all men are the same. I believe this right out of my breakup. And it's not true. It's not true. And you will meet men that will shock you for the better. And they're transparent and honest. And they're not going to play with you, mislead you. Not all men are the same. No. My only advice to you with how to date again, this is just what I had done, is to take your time. Take your time when out of that breakup to do that soul searching, cry all you need to cry. Mama, I'm so sorry you have to experience the pain of being lied to and cheated on and betrayed because it sucks. And again, it shakes your identity. But you need to just take your time. And then when you start dating again, you take your time again. Don't rush into a relationship. I think it's very healthy. I think just in general, personally, this is just my personal opinion. You and this individual meet in different seasons of each other's lives for a reason and a purpose. And just rushing into anything is just not wise. Good things take time, and if it's meant to be, it'll be. But if you do not try, you will never know. So You also need to allow yourself to let people earn your trust. And this is going to take time. And now you are more aware and more vigilant of protecting your heart and understanding that you're not going to just open it for anybody because you don't want to get hurt again in that way that you got hurt. So, which is fine. Just be careful with how high you build those walls around your heart. But observe. Observe the men that you're dating, the guy that you're exploring things with. Observe, how is it that he makes you feel when you're with him? You're not auditioning, mama. It's not, he's so lucky to be with you that I'm so, like, I get it. Sometimes you're like, oh, I want to be like this so he can choose me. And, we're taking our time and I need to be this, this, and this. Just be yourself, mama. Just be yourself. Because it's exhausting trying to be anybody else. It is. So, as you're getting to know somebody, just take your time and refocus your thoughts on, how does this guy make me feel? Because I'm just going to be me. If he likes it, he likes it. If he doesn't, he doesn't. Someone else will. There's this phrase that I always remind myself, and it's, I'm humble enough to know that I can be replaced. Absolutely, I can be replaceable, but I'm confident enough to know that no one will find someone else like me. That man is not going to find someone like you. And unfortunately, that guy that broke your heart, he's going to try to find little pieces of you in other women. And it's never going to be enough. You have something beautiful, unique to bring to the table. And so please remind yourself of that when you're dating again, if you're exploring something with someone. And I think the biggest thing that you need to do is just pray about it too. There's a reason why you met him. There's a reason why you met this man after your breakup, and you feel all the things that you're feeling. And you're learning so much about yourself and him. The biggest thing, and I didn't have this very much in my past relationship, communication is essential. If you feel like your emotions are going to scare someone away, just communicate and then you'll find out if he can handle you or not. It's very simple. But you also want to be able to see if he can communicate how he feels towards you. Communication. I'd rather over communicate than not communicate. And sometimes I catch myself just like well, let's talk about this. Like, how do we feel? How do you feel? How am I feeling? We just whatever. I'd rather just make sure that we are on the same page, because I don't want to be blindsided again, ever again in my life. I don't want to be blindsided. So, communication is essential. It's terrifying. It could be uncomfortable to have certain conversations. Discovery questions, mama. Ask him all the questions you want. Take your time, of course. I don't have to interrogate him for a whole night on your first date. But, as you get to know this new guy in your life, ask him the questions that matter. I mean, why are you dating? I'm going to ask you that. And I want you to answer that question. Why are you dating? Is it just for fun? Are you dating because you want to get married one day? Are you just like, you need to understand why you're doing it and find someone that wants to do it the same exact reason that you're doing it. You need to find alignment. Chemistry is chemistry, and chemistry fizzles out. We don't want a fire that's burning so heavy and so bright, because it's gonna go out. You want someone that you can align with. You want someone that can. It's when you come home and that fire it's a slow burning fire. It's not gonna go out quickly. That's what you want. So communicate honestly and watch his actions, not his words. Again, what does he do? Is he putting in the effort? Is he trying to be there for you? Is he making the time, the effort to see you, to plan dates with you? You have to watch his actions. I know it's hard when men charm us and they're like saying all these beautiful things. And we're like, oh my goodness, one little cloud. No, no. Actions speak louder than words. So observe him. This is a time in your life where you cautiously observe him. And while you're observing him, you allow yourself to open up a little bit, little by little by little, exploring what it is that you're exploring with this guy and trusting God in the process. Um, Lastly, stay grounded. Stay grounded in who you are. You're not someone that was cheated on, by the way. No, that's his loss. And he knows it. That's why he's telling all his friends that you're crazy, because he can't hold himself accountable, because he'll never be able to find someone like you. Stay grounded in who you are. So who are you? Yes, we're friends, we're sisters, cousins, business owners, entrepreneurs, students, colleagues, bosses, employees, whatever. No. I think the identity that we need to stand on is that we are a daughter of the Most High God who created us fearfully and wonderfully and beautifully. Remember, ladies, Adam and Eve. God created Adam, and he said, it's not good for man to be alone. And from Adam's rib, Eve was created. You are somebody's missing rib. And I pray that you find him soon. I pray that in this process, if you've met somebody, I pray that you just allow yourself to see yourself in such a beautiful way, that you don't need a man's reassurance to determine your beauty, your attraction. And there's still hope, because there are still good men out there. I can say that very confidently. And I don't think I'd be able to say that 7 months ago. No. But there are good men out there, and your worth is not defined. Your worth is not defined whether someone chooses you or not. Your worth is not defined by what that guy, that ex did to you. No, it's not. Season 2 is all about guarding our hearts, and it goes back to Proverbs 4:23. Above all else, guard your heart, because from it, everything flows. The heart is the source of life for us. And I pray that one day there is going to be a man, as he gets to know you, he's just going to be like, wow, I don't think that I have ever met someone as beautiful as this girl. And I pray that he does the right thing and commits to you and cherishes to love you and treasure you and protect you. And he will never want to hurt you, because you're one of a kind. And he sees that God has blessed him with a good woman. Let me tell you guys, all this suffering too, God is using you in this season in my life, all these sufferings to prepare yourself for your man one day. You're learning, you're growing, you're healing, you're being refined, you're being stretched. He's watering this garden, and you may not see the flowers bloom, but they will very soon. So just make sure that you are making the right choices. It's one thing, as I've, entered my 30s, that I look at my 20s, I'm like, wow, where'd it go? But when I was in it felt like forever. And I think one thing for me personally that I want to do in my 30s is not waste my time. And I don't want to waste my time making wrong choices, making the same mistakes. I don't have time for that. Entertaining the wrong men. No. My time is precious, and that man will see that in you one day. So, healthy love should feel exciting, peaceful, consistent, respectful, patient, and safe. It should not be confusing, chaotic, and it should not be triggering old wounds. So, betrayal may be a part of your story, as it is a part of mine, but it's not your ending. And so, I'm telling you, God can restore what's broken. I'm so blessed to have gone through what I gone through. I'm if this heartbreak, if this betrayal was because I needed to find someone and I needed to be the version of myself I wanted to be to learn and grow and heal and then meet someone down the road, it's worth it. It might feel a little sucky now. I get it, mama, but yeah, this is not your ending, nor is it your identity. You know, your past may have wounded your heart, but it does not disqualify you from the love that you were created for. So, are you dating from a place of fear or from a place of healing? And wherever it is that you find yourself, just know that I'm praying for you and that I think you're beautiful and that you are definitely enough. So please reach out to me. I do have an Instagram at Passport and Purpose Podcast. If you need any prayer requests, if you just need a little heart to heart, I'm here. Send me a DM and we will be back next week. And I just want to say I'm so proud, but it's going to be worth it. And you're going to meet an amazing man. He's going to be 10 times harder than your ex and taller too and stronger. So I'm telling you, it's going to be worth it. Okay. So yeah, just have faith and know that God is working in your life right now, but you need to be obedient as well. So bye, mamacita. Till next time.